All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakar HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you believers out there, Akim wa Akwatim. So, as you can see, I got this video. The title is Mass Layoffs Are Booming. A new housing market crash is starting to pick up speed as well. All right. And see, it's from Financial Argument, as you can see right here. All right, I'm subscribed. They usually have good little videos about what's going on. And basically, when you go to their page, all you see is doom and gloom, all right? Because, America, the Lord, he got his eye on America, all right? And that's one of his biggest targets is Babylon the Great, all right? And see, these are the times that we in. And when you look at this video, you can see how these big companies are laying people off, all right? It's not the little mom and pop spots, which a lot of them doing the same thing, or they either just close down altogether, okay? But see, these are the domino effects that's gonna lead, to one of the dominoes that's gonna lead to Jacob's trouble. Because when you got layoffs, ultimately you have people that's, even if they collecting unemployment, okay, they collecting less money, okay, in a time where inflation is around. So just imagine you went from making $12 an hour. I'm just throwing it out there. You get a layoff and they take, I believe, last time, because I remember some years ago, I collected unemployment. I think they give you like 80% of your money. So imagine you was making 12 an hour, now you making 10, but yet the prices are going up. All right, so it don't add up. But again, these are the times that we're in, okay? Because eventually a lot of them layoffs is just going to be permanent layoffs, all right, all together. So I'm going to play this video and then I'm going to just go to the scriptures with it, all right? If you want to watch this video into its entirety, you can see all the info because I will be, stopping the video to, read off scriptures, all right?
Hi, folks. Welcome to the Financial Argument. Layoffs are unavoidable for many companies at a time when the economy has become catastrophic. It's also quite dramatic among the many hardworking Americans who are forced out of work. The harsh realities we're witnessing today remind me of the layoffs in 2008, and the situation will lead to much worse results than in 2008. Worse still, everything is just the beginning. Moreover, the statements made by the authorities that day and today are almost the same. Let's go back to 2007 and recall the statements of Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke. He said that the U.S. economy did not appear headed for recession, and that only growth could prove weaker than expected, and inflation higher. Remember well what happened after these statements? Jerome Powell, sitting in that chair, says the same thing now. He says that he doesn't think the U.S. is currently in recession. At least they didn't make an attempt to change the definition of the recession on Wikipedia in 2008. Maybe Mr. Bernanke and his...
Now you heard what he said. At least they didn't attempt to change the definition of recession on Wikipedia. And see, in these times you have a lot of people that's waking up. All right. Esau can't run circles around the masses anymore. Nah, don't get me wrong. You still have a lot of stupefied people out there, a lot of sleep people. All right. But more than ever, you have a lot of people that's woken up. OK, number one, the Lord word has went out on the four corners of the earth like it's never done before due to the internet. OK, then you just have, your people that just see what's going on. They might not be into the scriptures per se, but they can just see that something ain't right. They know, hey, this government is crooked. All right, they woke up to it. And when you go into the government being crooked, who is the ruler of the this lifetime? I ain't gonna say lifetime. I'm gonna just say, who kingdom is this? All right, this is Esau Edom's kingdom. All right, the so-called white man. All right, and so let me go to when you go to Jeremiah All right, when you go to Jeremiah 49 and 10, it says what? But I have made Esau bare. See? And Esau, he can't do like he used to do, in the 50s, in his heyday, in the 60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, things of that nature, because this internet have, brought alternative news sites, whistleblowers on a mass scale. Okay, before a whistleblower might be in a magazine, the whistleblower might write a book, they might be on a TV show like 60 Minutes or something like that, and you didn't see them. But now with social media, YouTube, and all these other platforms, you got Odyssey, you got a BitChute and things of that nature. Hey, whistleblowers, they 24/7. Okay, all these alternative news sites is bringing down Esau. His covering cast is just crushing it, demolishing it, man. So continuing on, okay, Jeremiah 49 and 10, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbor, and he is not. See, and this is his future. The future is he will be not. All right, because in the kingdom, in the world to come, Esau will have no rulership, and you won't worry and be talking about a George Washington or Thomas Jefferson or Bill Gates or Elon Musk. No, all of them guys is going to be in captivity. They're going to be nothings, okay? And he is not. And see, even the fact that we're calling him Esau, all right, that's testimony that what? His secret places are being uncovered, who he is, okay? He was always known as a German, a Russian, a Frenchman, a white man. No, now us in the know, we say Esau Edom, okay? That right there, okay? And like, again, the point of everybody see what's going on, okay? You even got Edomites that's, you got Egyptian versus Egyptian, okay? Even these Edomites is, it's other articles, Lord will, I'll get into that where the American, these hot, red patriot, red-blooded Americans, they ready to come up against the government, man. Okay, so this is a sign of the times. All right.
Team didn't think of it. Folks, you absolutely can't expect an admission from them. It's not hard to understand how companies are in a big recession and preparing for a depression. All you have to do is be prepared for everything. As always, I'll try to make you understand what's going on in today's video. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying that this is a very dangerous time to buy a house or invest in the stock market at these prices. It's an extreme bubble and going to crash the market. In all these massive layoff waves, the company that worries me the most and that you should pay the most attention to is Walmart. Today, we know that the U.S. government employs 2 million people. Walmart, on the other hand, employs 1.5 million people in the United States alone and 2.2 million people worldwide. It's the company that employs the most people in the world, a number almost equal to
Now, as you can see, all these big companies, all right, Walmart number 1, 2.3 million. Amazon with 1.2. You got China National Petroleum with 1.2. You got State Grid, 800,000, almost 900,000. Han Hai. These are the big companies, all right? Now let's just watch on.
China's million people in the United States. You should pay the most attention to is Walmart. Today, we know that the U.S. government employs 2 million people. Walmart, on the other hand, employs 1.5 million people in the United States alone and 2.2 million people worldwide. It's the company that employs the most people in the world, a number almost equal to China's People's Liberation Army. Until a few weeks ago, we didn't come across much negative news about Walmart in the markets. Walmart reported on July 27th that it had cut its quarterly and full-year profit targets. They announced that people pay more attention to necessities such as food and spend less on items such as electronics and clothing. The stocks of many retail giants, including Walmart, fell sharply at the open one day later. People only spend money on food just to survive, and they don't want to spend money on other things. In fact, this shows that all the big companies in the retail sector are becoming weaker than ever before. When we put it all together, it shows what kind of recession we're in, and we're going into a nightmare that will never end. On top of all this, Walmart's layoff decision news, which made the headlines last week, comes about a week after the company changed its profit outlook. This reaction of Walmart shows the economic uncertainty and the difficulties that retailers will experience. I just want to ask, if everything is going well or better days are waiting for us, why is a giant like Walmart laying off its corporate employees?
And you see, because the days are going to do nothing but get worse and worse, right? And you see, and when we watch on, you going to see it's nothing but all of these big companies, man. All right? The Lord word is faithful and true, man. Okay? Now, when you go to 2nd Esdras, as a matter of fact, since I said that, 2nd Esdras 15:1, it says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy." All right. And we know prophecy is basically speaking, what's going to happen before it happened. All right. That's the testimony of Yahweh Shai. All right. Continuing on, "Which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true," man. All right. See, so the words that's written in the scriptures are faithful and true. This is why you seeing things shaking and moving, man. All right. Because the Lord word, went out. Okay. And once it go out, things start happening, man. Okay, so now when you go to 2nd Esdras 15:12, it says what? "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it." All right, the foundation of it shall be smitten, man. That's why you see these big companies, they're laying off. Okay, you see famine looming. All right. You got the Karagma looming, all right. But just speaking of that foundation, these big companies, they really are the movers and the shakers, which make things happen, man. All right, it's not the mom and pops do it too, but a company like Walmart, who employs millions of people, versus a little mom and pops that might employ 10 to 20 people. All right, you do the math, okay? A lot of people. That's 1 million something people, and out of the country. And this is out of the country, see? Even out of the country, all right? Because it's not just going to be America, all right? This is going to be a worldwide thing. But see, Egypt is going to mourn, and the Lord, what? He's going to bring he's going to bring that plague, man. He's bringing it already. As you can see, different pestilences looming, okay? This is what's happening, man. This is a domino when you get Walmart and all these big companies where millions and hundreds of thousands of people work, man, when it's already inflation, okay? Everybody need every dollar. Now a layoff come. And like I said, when you get laid off, even if you collect unemployment, you're not making as much as you was making. So therefore, what you got to do, you got to go and get another job. And see, he about to go into something else too. So let me just play it on.
Please. And if Walmart is like this, where does the business go for smaller companies?
You see, where do it go for smaller companies? All right. And the answer is down the drain. All right.
Let me answer that. Absolutely nothing is going well, and big pains will be at the door for the entire economy. The retail industry seems to be struggling because Americans aren't spending more than the essentials anymore, or rather because of inflation, which is why they can't. There's no new supply or permanent solution that's been found, but gas prices are decreasing slightly. In fact, this is due to the decrease in demand, because Americans now drive less, shop less, and spend less. Gas demand is almost the same as last year when the health crisis peaked. The chart I've shown confirms this, confirming the decline in the economy. My experience with the causes of financial crisis tells me that the basic start of foreclosures that lead to housing market crashes is when people lose their income. And we're in this scary process right now. Moreover, these are white-collar workers and their salaries are higher. These are the people who buy stocks and buy houses, but many of them are people who will soon be unable to pay their bills. And there are many more things that will trigger the house.
Now, you heard what he just said? These are white collar people. All right, and soon they not going to be able to pay their bills. What you think going to happen? All right, let's go back into it. When you go to Second Esdras, first, let me get this. When you go to Second Esdras 15 and 5, it says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." See? And these are the things that's going to take place, man. All right, the dominoes are falling, okay? When you got layoffs, when you got pestilences, okay? You got uprisings, okay? Inflation on the food, inflation on rent, inflation on everything, all right? But see, let me go back. Let me go back.
Housing market crashes is when people lose their income. And we're in this scary process right now. Moreover, these are white-collar workers and their salaries are higher. These are the people who buy stocks and buy houses, but many of them are people who will soon be unable to pay their bills.
You heard what he said? These are the white-collar people that's under salaries who buy stocks, but soon they won't be able to afford bills and things of that nature, man. The Lord is going to bust all that down. Matter of fact, let me see. Something else just came to mind. Bear with me 1 second. See if I can find it. Yep, Ezekiel 17. And 24, it says, "And all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high tree." Okay, and when that goes into that high tree, that's speaking about Esau, Edom. Okay, "have exalted the low tree," and that's talking about us Israelites, man. We are at the bottom. Okay, and this is slowly but surely happening because you got to think about it. While Esau, Edom, and all these other nations, these heathen nations is being brought low, well, we're being raised up through this word, okay? We being raised up right in front of. That's why the scriptures say, "I will set them in order in front of you." It's roughly paraphrasing, okay? Ezekiel 17:24, "And all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high tree, have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree, and have made the dry tree to flourish. I, the Lord, have spoken and have done it." And this is what's going on right now as us brothers and even the sisters are what? Being, we were dry trees. And just think about Ezekiel, what's that? Ezekiel 37, the parable of the dry bones. Okay. Okay, while we're being made to flourish through this word, Esau, Edom, and them and these heathens, they're being brought down low. This is why he went into saying what? These are going to be white collar, and mainly he's speaking about white America. Okay, you got, the Asians in there and the rest of these nations. He's not, now I will say you do have a lot of Israelites that are in corporate, but mainly when he's saying that, he's speaking about white America, okay? So these white collar, people that make salary, make good money, they buying stocks, things of that nature. These are the people that's going to run into these turbulent times. Everybody will, but see, it's going to be harder for them because imagine, normal Jake in the hood, he used to making $10, $12 an hour. He really basically used to struggling. Well, you got somebody make, 60, 70, 80, 100,000 a year plus. They not used to that unless they come from struggling. But mainly when he's speaking about these white collar Edomites, man, they not used to struggling, man. Okay, this is gonna be a new thing for them. All right. So going back to Second Esdras 15. All right. And see, this is going to lead into this. All right. 15 and 19, it says, A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See, and these dominoes that's falling, okay, this is what's going to lead to this, man. Because when some of these people that's, white collar and making good salaries and things of that nature, when it come down to it, man, a lot of them is patriot Edomites. A lot of them got guns. Hey, they gonna go get it for their family, man. They gonna basically how you said, they gonna get it how they live. Okay? they ain't gonna have no pity. All kid gloves gonna be thrown off, man. Okay? They sitting there, they little girl crying, she hungry. The lights off, things of that nature, man. It's hot, it's cold, whatever. They ain't gonna have no pity on their neighbor, man. They coming to get it. Okay, these same people walking around with these suit and ties, hey, they gonna get gangster, man. All right.
And there are many more things that will trigger the housing market crash. I'll mention all of them.
Experian Boost raised my credit score by 12 points instantly, which is insane.
So I raised my...
Remember my previous video on food shortages? Remember, there are people who will be in the food bank lines for the first time. Remember that...
You see, this is what I'm saying. A lot of them gonna be in the food banks for the first time, and you gotta think the pride, man, of people. Okay, I think that went into it. See, 2nd Esdras 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. See, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right, for that pride, man. Okay, the pride is one of the reasons why the Lord is plaguing it. But see, with the pride, you know what I'm saying? You got to think, you used to making 5-6 figure. You used to making a good salary, eating steak, drinking the best wine, taking your wife out, taking a family out on vacations at least 2-3 times a year, to going standing in the food line. Shit. Man, that's broad low. And that's what the Lord doing. He bringing down what? The high tree. Meanwhile, us brothers and sisters, we're getting exalted, okay? We're getting exalted through this word, man, okay? Bringing up that dry tree. We was all dry bones. Now we coming together. The sinews and the flesh and everything is coming together, man, okay? And the Lord breathing that breath into us, okay?
Before all this devastation, they will have had a 6-figure salary before trying to find food in lines. The waves of mass corporate layoffs, which many people are aware of with Walmart, are about to turn into tsunamis and reach record levels. E-commerce giant Amazon shrank 100,000 employees in the last quarter, the largest consecutive drop in its history. Not only Amazon, but also many technology companies are participating in this trend. We're seeing layoffs spread across all sectors, but mostly in tech companies, and another point to note is that these were the leading industry at the time of the rally. Notice how everything spreads across all sectors like a wildfire. According to the news, automaker industry giant Ford is preparing to lay off 8,000 jobs in the coming weeks. In fact, it's very important to remember that Microsoft was the first to begin layoffs in tech companies. Microsoft, which laid off 1,800 employees in July, said it was doing it as part of the realignment. The latest news revealed that the layoffs did not stop there, and that they'll continue. Finally, it was revealed that about 200 more employees from the R&D departments were forced to quit work. Netflix is another popular company who'll have reduced their workforce this year, laying off 150 employees in May, and recently announcing, "Today, we sadly let go of around 300 employees." 30% of Twitter's recruiting and talent acquisition team will be leaving the company, in part due to the issues surrounding the failed acquisition by Elon Musk and the legal battle that will no doubt ensue. Twitter has also announced a company-wide hiring freeze. After years of record growth, Tesla is laying off 229 employees from its San Mateo, California location. The Wall Street Journal and TechCrunch have reported that the investment firm Robinhood will be cutting 23% of its labor force just 3 months after they laid off 9% of their staff. Geico has laid off hundreds of employees, closed its agent offices in California, and laid off telephone agents in the state. In January, Zillow filed notice with the Texas Workforce Commission and began laying off 33 employees in Texas and will continue layoffs through August for 55 more employees. The Denver-based residential real estate giant RE/MAX announced that it would let go of 120 employees, totaling roughly 17% of its workforce by the end of the year. When we check out startups, only in 2022, 520 startups laid off more than 70,000 employees. When looked at cumulatively, more than 166,000 people were forced to quit their jobs. The layoffs, which started with the health crisis in 2020, continued normally for a while, but the severity increased after 2022. The situation is the same all over the world. Such an economic destruction has not been experienced in Europe since the 1940s. Aside from the layoffs,
And as you can see, all of these are big companies, man. All of these are big companies, man. All right. When you go to second Edge 6 and 22, what do it say? And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay? And see, layoffs, that's what it lead to. Okay? Layoffs, you're going to have food shortages. Okay? You walk past and McDonald's boarded up or closed, ransacked. You know, you can't get up nothing off of Amazon on time anymore. All right. I just recently purchased something from Amazon and it was delayed. Okay. It was delayed. And I knew somebody else, the same thing happened. It was delayed, man. All right. Which, you know, in times past, Amazon, you know, they really still be on point. But it was delayed. So it's somebody that I know. Okay. Do the layoffs, man. When you lay off people, you have less hands at work. Okay. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, man. All right. And it's starting with these big companies, man. All right. When you get into it, because see, when it started happening to the big companies, it just, you know, anything under it just don't really have a chance. When you go to Isaiah 14 and starting at verse 5, it says what? The Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. See? None hindereth, all right? He's breaking the staff of the wicked and the scepter of these rulers, man, okay? Esau Edom is getting bust down on all angles, all right? His big companies, they're starting to fail, all right? And even though, you know, we understand that, you know, the elites, they be having a hand in things, they still getting orders from Yahweh Shem Yahushua on the left-hand side. So either way it go, it's still the Lord that what? Is ruling in the kingdom of men, all right? Whatever moves Esau Edom make, the Lord is basically putting him up to it to sabotage his own thing. You know, he think he about to have his great reset, but guess what? It's not going to happen the way he thinks. Okay.
the factories are considering not producing. Alibaba, experiencing sluggish sales in the slowing economy, has implemented cost-cutting measures which include the firing of about 10,000 employees. Companies on this list is so long that we can't finish counting them all. It's highly...
You see? Companies on the list is so long they can't finish it. All right? All right? Isaiah 14:5 again. The Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers, man. This is what's going on. This is a part of it, okay? Things seem normal, but guess what? It's it's happening, man. Okay, it's not gonna get better. It's only gonna get worse. Okay, the layoffs are gonna come even more. Okay, next year is gonna be worse than this year. In a lot of ways, they trying to implement that Karama more and more. That's more control. Okay, and when you get off into that, that's a whole nother ball game, basically, because I got the videos, and Lord will, I'm gonna get, that'd be the next lesson, because I wanted to get into that, but this kind of just fell in my lap. I seen it, and then once I started watching it, scripture started coming to my mind. So I'm like, wow, the spirit was hot. Let me get it. But the videos, put out about Biden executing that signing that where to do away with the cash or do something with the cash December 13th. I'm gonna get off into that, Lord will. All right. But see, this thing is not about to get better. Meanwhile, you're gonna more than likely have prices going up. You're gonna more than likely have more pestilences, because you gotta think we still dealing with the C-19. All right. Now you had the monkey stuff. Okay, that's still on the table. All right, you got something called Lanya. Then you got the polio came back. I mean, who knows what's next? All right, who knows what's next, man? Okay, so 2023 is gonna be, it's not gonna be like 2033 gonna happen, and then oh man, the prices went down, the gas went down, people start getting hired, coming back to work, and it started booming again. No, this is only gonna get worse and worse and worse. All right, it might seem like, it might seem like normal. Stuff might stay stagnant, or you might not hear much, but hey, it's only gonna get worse.
Highly likely that someone watching this video right now has been laid off or is concerned about whether they'll be laid off.
And you see, that's true, because these big companies who employ millions of people, okay, well, at the time when I was watching, it was 220 views. All right, you got to imagine the views going to go up. Employing millions and millions and hundreds of thousands of people watching this video probably have been laid off, or like he said, worry about it. All right. That's why when you start from the top, anything in the bottom, you got some mom and pop spot that's in the hood. They make chicken and fries and things of that nature. You can go there. It's good. You might have noticed the prices increase, but they don't have a chance in the grand scheme of things. They might still be open, but they not going to have a chance in the grand scheme of things. Best believe things is probably more than likely tough for them. Entrepreneurs, okay? Entrepreneurs doing their business, when the C-19 came, more than likely they took all type of hits, all right, that they not even recovered from to this day, okay?
Or at least you've heard of one of your family members being forced out of work. If you haven't heard, these layoffs, which total hundreds of thousands this summer alone, will soon affect millions of Americans. In fact, surveys reveal the concerns of American citizens and their anxiety about losing their jobs during this economic downturn. A survey from Insight Global reveals that most American workers, a huge 78%, feared that they could lose their jobs. This affects employees at different stages of their career, because almost half of managers, 49%, are more worried about their non-management coworkers, 34%, about losing their jobs. Most managers, 78%, confirmed that they would need to lay off employees in a recession. It's crystal clear the industry most comfortable with the fear of losing their jobs is the layoff specialists who assist companies through difficult layoff processes.
Business is booming for layoff specialists. Never seen anything like this. Why is that? Because we're in a time where the Lord is visiting. All right. Matter of fact, let me get this scripture real quick. All right, because this is the beginning, man. We're in the beginning of sorrows. Yahweh Shah told us about it, but when you go to 2nd Ezra 16, all right, and I'm going to start at verse 17. Now this is Ezra. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows. And this, see, Yahushua gave us what? He gave us the blueprint and told us what would be the signs of the beginning of sorrows. All right, when you go to, I think, Matthew, what's that, 24? Okay. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for the amendment, man. And these are the things. Why? Because they're sent for scourges for the amendment. All right. The beginning of famine, the beginning of great mourning, sorrows, great death, the beginning of wars. I could do something on that. You know, something came across my feed from Redacted, going into China. That's all you hear about, U.S. and China, Taiwan, and now you got Putin visiting North Korea. No, it might be South Korea. No, North Korea. One of them. I think it's North Korea. These are the beginning of wars, man. World War III is looming. It's looming. It's in the air. It's only a matter of time before it really pop off. All right, the beginning of evils. All right, if you take a look at what's going on in the news, you know, all the killings and things that, man, it's stuff is going down, man. All right. It's going down, man. These words are faithful and true. All right, y'all.
Processes and are currently receiving record applications. Job inquiries hit a record number in July, as reported by Get5. Analysts believe that August will be better than July for employers and worse for workers. The tech sector is the same, with a record high increase in requests, especially for startups. When we put everything together, taking into account how tragic the layoffs are for Americans, especially in these hard times, and they can spread across all sectors of the country, a new housing market crash can make itself felt within months, seems to have accelerated.
And as you see, Google searches for sell my home fast spiked 2,700%. Sell my home fast, man. People ready to get up out of there, man.
GDP report was released on June 28th, and fears were heightened that the United States could indeed be entering into a recession. Online searches for terms such as...
And the last video I did with when Trump was warning, he was like, it's going not. He said, no, we ain't going to be able to call it a recession. It's going to be a depression. See? And it's going to go under depression, man. It's going to go to all out chaotic situation, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be way past depression, man. Because when you depressed, somebody sit up in the house, they might have an attitude, they might chill under that rock for a couple days, but no, people going to go crazy. You see what I'm saying?
My home fast skyrocketed 2,750%. Real estate brokerage Ruby Home performed a study where they looked at data from Google Trends in real time to see how homeowners were reacting to the news as it was released. According to their CEO, Tony Mariotti, spike in the search terms above shows that consumers are on edge right now. It's a double whammy. The combination of rising interest rates and contracting GDP fuels consumer uncertainty about home prices. In addition, there was a huge 1,900% spike in search terms such as, what does a recession mean for me? Clearly, the population is very concerned. In a recent interview with Insider, a senior economist for the Interactive Brokers named Jose Torres claimed that the United States is going to face a housing crisis such as the one in 2008. He predicts that housing prices will drop up to 25% starting in 2023. Concerns over the economy, inflation, and the housing market are important issues for millions of Americans. The rising housing prices throughout 2022 and record-breaking inflation affects nearly all sectors, but could crash at any time. Today, about 2/3 of Americans
And see, what they don't understand is it's going to be worse than 2008. All right. 2008 was one time, one period. This is a whole nother ball game that we about to enter. Because we about to go into Jacob's trouble. All right. We going to them to them sorrows, man. 2008 is a prelude of what, this the big one, Elizabeth. All right. As Fred Sanford used to say, man, this 2008 ain't gonna have nothing on this, man.
Citizens live paycheck to paycheck when the cost of living continues to rise faster than paychecks. Of the millions of Americans who work hard when they can, many of them desperately believe those in Washington who said everything was fine and that everything would be fine. And worse yet, lies are still being told to their faces. The future of our economy is bleaker than most of you would like.
You heard what they said. See, this is Esau being Bear. Hold on, let me run it
and
back.
That everything would be fine. And worse yet, many of them desperately believe those in Washington who said everything was fine and that everything would be fine. And worse yet, lies are still being told to their faces.
See, lies are still being told. And why is that? Because when you depend on the word of these wicked rulers, all right, you get misled, man. This is Esau Edom. All right, because what Revelation 20 tell you? When he was loosed, all right, he deceived the nations. This is part of his power, okay? Deception, man. Matter of fact, when you go to, see, Esau Edom, he's, biggest deceiver on planet Earth, man. That's why he called the devil Satan, man. He's adverse to the scripture. He's adverse to righteousness. When you go to Isaiah chapter 30, I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. They that may add sin to sin, that walk down to go into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth." See? To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. See, and if you are really new, okay, America is spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. Egypt, why? Because of the bondage when we was in Egypt. Okay, as Israelites, we served hardcore bondage in Egypt, and we did the same thing here in America. Okay, and it's known as spiritual Sodom because you have the LGB community, all of this. These transformers, the homo, all of that going on. That's why it's known as spiritual Sodom. Okay. But what did it say? That walked to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth. Right. You're not considering the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. You're not considering the scriptures. All right. That's why people are lost. Okay, because they watch news, they listen to Joe Biden, Kamala, they listen to all these politicians and they run with it. All right, it is good to listen to what they're saying, but not to wholeheartedly have faith in them. Okay, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. And the modern day Pharaoh is who? Esau Edom. And trust in the shadow of Egypt. And if you know anything about a shadow, go outside on a sunny day. Your shadow is fickle. It's whimsical. It can be over here 1 second. It can be shaped in this form another second. It can be, in front of you, then behind you to the left. It's never, what's the word I'm looking for? Shadow is fickle. It's never, what's the word I'm looking for? Lord will come back. But, it's just everywhere. Okay. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. I can't think of the word I want to say. But yeah, man, this is what happened when you put your trust in Pharaoh, when you put your trust in Esau Edom. All right. Because he's a liar. Okay. He'll tell you, no, we gon', just for a minute. We're going to have to lock you down for 2 weeks. Then in 2 weeks come, it's another 2 weeks. Then it's another 2 weeks. Then, no, we're not going to go into a recession. Next thing you know, we're in a deep, dark recession. All right. See, woe to the rebellious children. all right, that take counsel, but not of me, not in these scriptures, man. This is why we got to thank Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Why is that? Because we have been guided into this marvelous light to understand. We got the playbook. We know that things are going to get bad. Well, meanwhile, you got people, you got a certain percentage of the population that think things going to get better. You got, I'm telling you. And then you got that percentage that just, they in la la land. They just don't have a clue. They don't have a clue, man. Matter of fact, let me get a precept to back this up real quick. All right. See, this is why you don't trust in them. You trust in who? Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. When you go to Proverbs 25, I'm going to close out here, 25 and 19. It says what? Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. See? That broke tooth, you got that broke tooth and you bite down on a piece of that tooth out of there. Your foot out of joint, you trying to hurry up and scurry to work, you out of there. You done. And this is what it's like having confidence in Esau Edom and not having confidence in our Lord. Okay? So, let me see what else he gonna say. Pretty much it.
The future of our economy is bleaker than most of you would like to imagine.
Yep.
This bubble is a size the history of the world has never seen before, is about to burst, and it will be very painful. God bless you all.
See, very never seen before, man. Never seen before. These the times we coming in. Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. Everyone that shall be found written in the book of life. All right. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. Okay. Lord willing, we get that mark on the right hand side. So when the Lord come down and start bringing judgment, we be exempt, man. Okay. And the word I was looking for, it just came back to me. For shadow, a shadow is never stable. That's the word. It don't have stability. Okay. As you walk, your shadow never has stability. Again, you can be walking, it can be on the left side. You make a turn, it's on the right side. You do another turn, so it's a shadow is fickle. It doesn't have stability. And that's what happens when you trust in Esau Edom. You're not gonna have stability, man. In the spirit, most definitely. All right. And again, let's go back to it again. Let me read it to y'all again. All right. Because the scriptures are they say things over and over, especially when you get into the law. Okay. Proverbs 29:19. Confidence in the unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint, man. All right. So, hey, I just wanted to bring this out. Let's put our confidence in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. Lord willing, this is edifying. Till the next lesson. Shalom.